Hello, what's your name?
My name is Deborah, also Hadi Shabid.
How long have you been doing Kundalini Yoga?
I've been doing Kundalini Yoga for about 3 years.
Why do you do Kundalini Yoga?
I do Kundalini Yoga because it helps me to relax and helps me to be the best me I can be.
What's the biggest challenge in Kundalini Yoga?
I think the biggest challenge is my mental focus. It's not the physical aspect, it's keeping my mind solid and steady.
What is your biggest joy in Kundalini Yoga?
My biggest joy is hanging out with all these great people.
Thank you. What's your name?
My name is Sattar Singh.
How long have you been doing Kundalini Yoga?
I've been doing Kundalini Yoga for 39 years.
Why do you do Kundalini Yoga?
Because otherwise I would be crazy, or insane, or dead, or all three.
What's your biggest challenge in Kundalini Yoga?
My biggest challenge in Kundalini Yoga is, that's the hardest question of all the ones you have. So my biggest challenge is being in the space that is created by Kundalini Yoga all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
What's the biggest joy in Kundalini Yoga?
My biggest joy in Kundalini Yoga is all of you, the community. I love everybody. I want us all to be together as much as possible, and it gives me great joy.
Satnam, what's your name?
Masuda Mohammadi.
How long have you been doing Kundalini Yoga?
About 11 years.
Why do you do Kundalini Yoga?
It's fun, it's energizing, it's powerful, it's a nice combination of breath work, movement, meditation, and chanting.
What's the big challenge for you in Kundalini Yoga?
The challenge is really to try to fit it into life. Like, I'd like to do yoga all day long, but there's everyday life to deal with. So it's really trying to make time for that morning practice and evening meditation.
What is the biggest joy in the Kundalini Yoga?
Biggest joy is that it really connects me to God, to infinity. It's a spiritual way of life that's just brought me a lot of happiness.
Satnam, what's your name?
How are you, Satnam? My name is Nick Johnson. Welcome.
How long have you been doing Kundalini Yoga?
I've been practicing Kundalini now probably for about 4 or 5 years.
Why do you do Kundalini Yoga?
Well, it's a great workout, and it's a great spiritual practice. I'd say those are the two things that have attracted me to Kundalini.
What's the biggest challenge for you in Kundalini Yoga?
The biggest challenge can easily be the arm postures where we might have to sit with the arms in the air in a certain position for an extended period of time.
An hour.
Sometimes 31 minutes, more likely 11, but it can still be more challenging than you think.
Okay, what's the biggest joy in Kundalini Yoga?
It's difficult to put into words, but it's a kind of cleansing feeling that you get after you practice. Not to use a cliche-ish word, but it's almost blissful. It's just a very joyous, cleansing feeling.
Thank you. Now, what's your name?
I'm Sujan Saru.
How long have you been doing Kundalini Yoga?
I started in 2002, but I've been doing it regularly since February of 2011.
Okay. And why do you do Kundalini Yoga?
Because I love it. Because it just makes me feel connected to the divine. It makes me feel connected to others. It makes me feel connected to myself and to the planet.
So what's the big challenge in Kundalini Yoga?
The big challenge is when I can't do it. That's really my biggest challenge is that I don't get enough of it. Really.
Okay. What's the big joy of Kundalini Yoga for you?
The big joy is that connection that I feel when I feel one with the divine, one with the universe, one with the cosmos, and one with my fellow person. That's my big joy. I just feel a unity.
Nam. What's your name?
My name is Daniel.
How long have you been doing Kundalini Yoga?
A little bit over 2 years.
Why do you do Kundalini Yoga?
It just feels different. Every time I not do Kundalini Yoga in the morning, the day doesn't feel the same. So it just keeps me going. So it's just kind of natural. I kind of stopped asking myself for a while. At first it was something exotic, something different, and it kind of became part of my life. So like, why do I brush my teeth? I don't really ask myself. It just kind of happens.
Okay, what's the big challenge for you in Kundalini Yoga?
Staying focused, I guess, is really the biggest challenge, I think, when you sit for a long meditation.
So physical, on a physical level.
Not really physical, but maybe on the mind, because you still keep, like, thoughts, like random thoughts keep, like, going, and I know how you're supposed to deal with them, kind of in theory, but in practice you still have to kind of address it every time it happens. And it's just, staying concentrated. Physically, I mean, there are challenging poses, but I don't think it's the main idea. I mean, it's just you can get lots of benefits without even doing any of the, standing on top of your head or whatever.
What's the big joy in doing Kundalini Yoga?
Big joy? I think it's just the good feeling like you get right after you're done with it. So maybe not necessarily like doing the yoga, but just the way it feels after. And just you can tell it works, because you feel refreshed, you feel like you're connected to something else besides your just day-to-day things, and you just kind of get to some new level. And then, you can really tell the difference if you stop doing it even for a little while. You just kind of, old habits keep coming back, so you just have to keep going. That's how it is for me.
Thank you. Satnam, Daniel. Satnam.
Satnam.
What's your name?
My name's Chris.
How long have you been doing Kundalini Yoga?
For about 10 months, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Why are you still doing it?
Why am I still doing it?
Yeah.
Because I absolutely love it. It's become such a part of me lately, part of my life, not only the benefits I get from it, but the benefits everybody else gets from it, just walking through this world with enough energy and enough direction and enough positive attitude and positive mind that, really all beings can benefit.
Okay, what's the big challenge when you're doing Kundalini?
Challenge, there might be some difficult things, maybe some unpleasant things. I don't find too many challenges, and if there are, usually there's more joy that comes from maybe some of the so-called more difficult things. Yeah.
So, what about joy? What's the big joy for you in Kundalini?
The big joy? Oh, the sensations, the personal sensations, of course. Literally feeling anger, worry, anxiety lift and, be gone, and really, like I said earlier, walking through this world with a different mental outlook, a different physical outlook, and just, as a more joyful being.
Okay. Satnam. What's your name?
My name is Megan.
How long have you been doing Kundalini Yoga?
About 1 year.
Why are you still doing this?
It's hard to put into words, but the experience of it has brought me much joy. So I found myself going to class a lot, and I recently signed up to take the teacher training program.
Good.
I wanted to dive into it a bit more.
Okay, be careful, deep water. Okay, what's the big challenge for you in Kundalini Yoga?
Still the biggest challenge is the mind.
Right.
Not, thinking I can't do certain poses or hold certain things for a long time. It's that mental capacity.
Okay. What about big joy? What's joyous? in Kundalini Yoga for you?
Everything.
Except poses.
I mean, at the end of the class, especially, it's that feeling that you get after having completed the class. And, you know, saying the long time sun with all the people in the room is just indescribable feeling, elation and joy.
Good. That's now.